Manga mouths are largely symbolic, just like the manga style eyes. And drawing them is fairly straightforward, as long as we keep a few things in mind. The mouths themselves really only take form when we see the side views, and we're going to take a look at both the front and side views in this lesson. Starting off, the most basic type of manga mouth is a neutral, closed-lipped expression, which is really just a short line. Of course, you can make this even shorter or a little bit longer, and it'll still look okay. In the three-quarter view, we usually have a longer line on the nearer side to the camera, and that is really just to emphasize the rotation of the head. In this instance, we have a small little line underneath the main line, and that helps to imply the sense of form of a lower lip. It's a kind of a lip shadow in a sense. Also, another common style of manga mouth is to draw two lines that do not connect in the middle. And really, this is just like poetic license for poets. It's artistic license. It's really more done for stylistic effect. In the real world, we'll typically always see the completed line because we have an ambient occlusion shadow between the lips. And something we will deep dive more is how we can use mouths to create a multitude of expressions along with the eyes and the eyebrows, keeping in mind that the mouths are largely symbolic. So you want to treat them more like stickers or more like graphics and less like 3D forms per se. In this instance, we have just a simple shape with an indication of teeth and a tongue, which is used to give us a wide open mouth smile. And on the left side, once again, we have a longer section on the side that faces us. Let's take a look at the side views. And in the side view diagram here, we can see two different versions of the side view. There is some contention amongst anime and manga fans as to which type of side view mouth is better, because this is called side mouth, and I think it's really fading out of popularity, but it's very, 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 very common in anime and manga to see side mouth, which is not technically possible in three-dimensional space. But that said, we have to keep in mind the symbolic nature of the mouth, and in fact even of the profile view eye. On the left-hand side, however, we have more of a three-dimensional formed mouth, and this looks a lot better in a general sense, but sometimes it's a little bit harder to express the same type of emotion that's being expressed more clearly with the side mouth. Effectively, you can see that expressing with the mouth is pretty straightforward as long as you learn a few basic lines and a few basic shapes, which will help you achieve a plethora of emotions. And that we will deep dive in the expressions part of this course. That's the end of this lesson, and I'll see you in the next lesson.